Hello friends, my name is Ryan. I'm going to tell you a story named The Ariel Castro Kidnappings, a Decade of Captivity in Cleveland, which is a very amazing story full of twists. So, let's start. It was a warm summer evening in Cleveland, Ohio, back in 2002. The streets buzzed with the hum of daily life, children's laughter echoed in the air, and everything seemed ordinary. Yet, beneath this facade of normalcy, a nightmare was brewing, one that would shock the nation and leave scars that would take years to heal. Michelle Knight was walking down a familiar street, lost in her thoughts. Life had not been kind to her. Estranged from her family, she had faced rejection and hardship. That day, she was heading to an appointment to regain custody of her young son. She didn't know it yet, but fate had other plans. As she passed by a house on Seymour Avenue, a man called out to her. It was Ariel Castro, someone she vaguely recognized. He seemed friendly, offering her a ride and some help. Little did she know, this would be the last time she'd walk freely for over a decade. Ariel Castro's home was an unassuming two-story house that blended with the others on the street. No one could have imagined the horrors it concealed. When Michelle stepped inside, the atmosphere shifted. The man who had appeared kind moments ago turned into a predator. The door locked behind her with an ominous click, and Michelle's nightmare began. In the months that followed, Amanda Berry, a 16-year-old full of life and dreams, disappeared. She was walking home from work at Burger King, excited about celebrating her upcoming birthday. Ariel Castro used the same method of deceit to lure her into his trap. Amanda's family plastered the city with missing person flyers, holding on to hope that she would come home. The third victim was Gina De Jesus, just 14 years old. She was a friend of Ariel Castro's daughter and trusted him. One day, as she walked home from school, he offered her a ride, claiming he'd drop her off safely. Instead, he drove her to his house, where her innocence was shattered. For years, these three women endured unimaginable torment. Ariel Castro kept them chained, abused them, and instilled fear so deep it silenced their screams. The house was soundproofed, and Castro manipulated his neighbors into believing he was just another friendly face in the community. No one suspected a thing. The women found ways to survive. They formed a bond that helped them endure the darkest days. Michelle, Amanda, and Gina supported one another, whispering words of hope when despair threatened to consume them. Amanda gave birth to a daughter, Jocelyn, during her captivity. The little girl brought a glimmer of light into their shadowed world. Castro allowed Jocelyn some freedoms, even taking her outside on rare occasions. This eventually became his downfall. On May 6, 2013, a decade after the nightmare began, Amanda saw an opportunity. Castro had left the house, but he had failed to lock one of the doors. She took a chance, screaming for help through a cracked door. A neighbor, Charles Ramsey, heard her cries and rushed to her aid. Together, they kicked in the door, and Amanda, holding Jocelyn, ran to freedom. The police arrived soon after and rescued Michelle and Gina. The images of these women emerging from the house, frail but alive, were broadcast across the globe. The world rejoiced, but the scars they carried told a story of unimaginable pain. Ariel Castro was arrested and later sentenced to life in prison without parole, plus 1,000 years. Justice had been served, but the damage he inflicted would never truly heal. Castro died by suicide in his cell a month after his sentencing, leaving behind questions that would never be answered. The courage of Michelle, Amanda, and Gina inspired millions. Their resilience in the face of pure evil showed the strength of the human spirit. Despite the darkness, they found a way to survive, and their story serves as a reminder that hope can thrive even in the bleakest of circumstances. So, friends, this was the story of the Ariel Castro Kidnappings, a Decade of Captivity in Cleveland. It's a tale of horror, resilience, and the enduring power of hope. If you found this story gripping and want to hear more like it, make sure to subscribe to our channel. Until next time, stay safe and take care.